Hey, meteorologist James Wieland here with another great episode of the Impact Zone here. We're going to talk about some surf forecasting and also look at what we've had the past several days because we have had a lot of surf the past couple days. I'm kind of losing my voice here too. I don't know what's going on, but I had some little surf out there today. That was nice, and we're going to talk about if we can stick around for tomorrow. But here's what it looked like today. Let me get rid of my mug. Look at that. Not bad. Nice shore break, sure. Kind of breaking right on the shore, but some nice little barrels out there by some. One of them, this is where I surfed. Oops. It was a little bit smaller than that and a little bit weaker. Here's Coach Craig. Pull it into a little tube. So attaboy. So yeah, up and down Palm Beach County, there were some waves out there. You got to follow me on Instagram, Surfing Weatherman, and you'll get all the updates here that I send out and all the pictures and everything like that. And also on Twitter and Facebook too, Surfing Weatherman. So check that out. Now let's see why we got waves and see what's going on here. And well, the reason we got waves was because of this right here, this little system. Remember we were talking about it last time that this low was going to form here off the coast. And it did. And it moved up in this direction here, just like that. It had a nice little fetch right in here that was pointed at us and gave us that little shot of swell that we had. And you see how it kind of moves up towards Hatteras and then way up in towards Cape Cod. Alright, so the thing is, it got really close to Hatteras, so it kind of cut off our swell making there. Let me stop it right there. Yeah, there you go. So no more anything on this side because it's over land. We got a lot of wind coming up like this, but that doesn't do us any good. So our swell is going to cut off rather quickly, but I think it may last at least another half a day. So let's check out the buoys and see what's going on. This is the Fort Pierce buoy, and you see we still got something there, so that's encouraging. 2.3 feet, 10 seconds. I mean, that's not huge, but it's still something coming in there. And you see it's been pretty steady, 2.0, 2.3, 2.0, 2.3. So that means swell is still coming in here. And I think we're going to stick with it tomorrow. Let's look at the outer buoy here, an indication of maybe what's to come. Oh, I can't get this thing to click. There we go. And west wind. Yeah, this one actually went up a little bit. So we were down to 3.6, 3.9 earlier today, this afternoon, and now it's jumped back up to 4.9, 9 and 10 seconds. So that's good news. So I think that this will hold into tomorrow morning. And the good news is the local winds will be light offshore and it will be glassy tomorrow like it was this morning. Super glassy out there. Not a drop out of place. So that's good. Let's just, since we're on these, we're going to check the other buoy here. This is the closer in one off the Cape. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, nice. Came down a little bit. It was up to 3.9, now it's down to 3.0, so it dropped a foot. Dropped a period too, that's not good. But a nice direction here out of the northeast and a little bit out of the northeast. So again, I'm encouraged by seeing all of this here about getting some wave action here again tomorrow. The only thing working against us tomorrow, I think we're gonna have good winds. I think we're gonna have swell, although maybe not the most powerful swell. There's gonna be swell there, but I think we have the tide working against us in the morning. We got high tide right at like 8 o'clock, 7:53. So yeah, 8 o'clock. And that's when the conditions will be cleanest and the swell will be strongest at high tide. So you're going to have to find a high tide break tomorrow, something that can take a little bit deeper water but still break, even though we still got a good period there, so it might not have to be too shallow in order for it to work. So good news, that's for sure. This thing always pops up. I should try to change that. But here we go. So let's check out the maps here. and then see what's in our future. Because really, I think we're doing good here in the future. You're going to see some promising situations here coming up. So it looks like we're really starting to crank things up here at the end of September. October could be pretty good too. It could start to slow down, however. So we'll see. Here we go. Let's first check out the American model, the GFS. And then I'll show you the model differences here coming up too. So here's the system. Notice there's no fetch pointed at us anymore, so it's done. Whatever waves it made, those are the ones coming at us right now, and then that's it. It's not making anything new out there at all. So we go through. Let's just jump to Tuesday. So then by Tuesday, I think we're dropping to knee high or less. I mean, maybe, yeah, I mean, rideable if you're desperate, but it'll definitely drop on Tuesday. What we have here, though, we have a little tropical wave action right here, and that's what's coming on Wednesday. And then we have this up here. Look at this fetch starting to develop. Another little northeast fetch here. We're getting these little kind of in the nook kind of fetches that start to develop, and these are pretty good actually. You know, they may not be the biggest of swells, but normally they'll pump in a bunch of waves to a set. We'll get a good angle to them, so there won't be a whole lot of closeouts, and they'll break really good. So it's encouraging to see anything in this nook right here. So let's fast forward another day or so. Oops, that's too much. I'm going to try to stop it on Wednesday. So this is Wednesday morning. And you can see a tropical wave in here right now, and then that flow kind of east, southeast, kind of moving right in behind that tropical wave. It does pick up here, these straight onshore winds, breezy here. So this will bring us a little wind chop. So I think by Wednesday we're talking about picking it back up, waist high wind chop across South Florida. Maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit chunky too with the little shorter period swell. But also we're keeping an eye on up here, like I said, that developing northeast fetch, and look at how that is starting to develop very nicely. And we'll go through time, and I think this thing sitting out here a little while too. This model run definitely is very encouraging. It's very good because it sits this low out here for a little while. And if this happens, then we're going to see, waves for a little while. Because even this right here, I mean, this is enough to send some swell our way for sure. I mean, it's not the hugest of fetches, but still, look at it, stretches down in here, and that's going to help too. So I think the swell from that going to start to fill in on Thursday. Here's the problem though, not everything's coming together for this one, this next one, because look, we go through time here, and this looks really good, really encouraging, really nice up here. But the problem is it does not look so nice down here because it's an onshore flow. It's even southeast, which really cross chops up a northeast swell coming in, and you get that kind of cross chop on the face, which really stinks actually. But it does start to lighten a little bit. Let me go back. Friday, a little bit. Friday morning, there you go, there's Friday morning. Alright, I mean, it's like 5 to 10 out of the southeast, so that puts that little crinkle in it. But the swell should fill in a little bit more then. And then Saturday morning, it drops even more, and we should still have some swell coming in, but it's still onshore. Now, where it's not onshore, I think if you go up toward, I'd even say Jensen, up through the Space Coast, and then north of the Cape, that we're all talking light winds. We might even be talking about light offshore winds. So super clean up coast, and then this is even more pointed at North Florida, Central Florida, rather than us down here. So they will get the brunt of the swell. So if you really want something good next weekend, I think up coast, we're going to get stuff down here, but I think up coast will really have some quality stuff. At least that's the way it's looking at the moment. And then watch as we keep going here. So this thing is still creating some sort of wave action for us. So there, by Saturday night, this thing isn't making waves for us anymore. So anyway, so there'll still be waves that it already made out there. So I'll give it another day. It's in this vicinity, maybe this. So maybe day and a half. So we're talking still waves into Monday. Next Monday, that is. And maybe even a Tuesday. So that's encouraging. You know, we have a few things going on here. We have, you know, the leftovers tomorrow. You know, we have tropical wave on Wednesday, so some wind chop on Wednesday. And then the beginning of the northeast swell, if that thing develops off the coast there and pinches off, and we see that come on in. So that's going to be starting Thursday, filling in more on Friday, and then maybe slowly dropping over the weekend. That's a lot of days. That's a lot of, the only day right now that doesn't look all that great is Tuesday. I have Tuesday off, figures. But it's time I get things done. I've been surfing a lot, so I got stuff to do around the house here. So, and now let's just go through time, because there is something else interesting here in the long range that we're going to laugh about. So you see what's developing here, a little tropical activity. And I'm telling you, we're just doing this for fun because this isn't going to happen like this. But here it comes. Look at that. I think you know where I'm getting at. Look at that. So there's the last model run, and this is October 7th. Big old hurricane right off the coast. That would send a slot swell into southern central Palm Beach County. That would send a big swell to Central Florida and North Florida. That would see this north flow, might even pull down a cold front. That would be craziness. But you know what's funny? Like, this gives waves, right? So that's good. But look at the previous run was nothing like this, but it also was very good for waves. Just check it out. Look at that. So previous run has the hurricane storm out here, not as good, but then it has all this here, this big low forming, and the pump down as well, and then light winds on top of us. Actually, the local winds look better with this model run. And this is where that low started. So look at that. That right there would be unbelievable if this one happened. And then now let's switch to the most recent model run. Gone. That's the way it works. All right, so let's back the truck up here, and let's put this in the European gear. And we're going to go through time. So it matches up pretty good with the GFS at first. Now let's see what it's doing with that low pushing off, that front pushing off the coast, and see if it pinches off any low. So here's the front right here. And we do see some fetch developing right there. This is Tuesday. So let's go to Wednesday morning. This thing's slow to keep up. There we go. So that's Wednesday morning. You see tropical wave is right here. So yeah, it has our winds picking up a little bit on Wednesday. It has this developing too. So that's good to see two of the models showing something like that happening. That gives you confidence in saying that, okay, we may be onto something here. It's maybe not quite as good as the GFS, but it does show something, and it does show, you know, some fetch out here. It does show the onshore southeast winds, which is not good, no bueno for us, but it is what it is. We got to take whatever we can get. And it also shows everything kind of quieting down for, remember that pattern I just showed you, central and northern Florida, light winds when the swell starts to arrive. Now, what the European does do is it does not show us that prolonged fetch that's out here. It shrinks it up a little bit just off the Delmarva, and it hasn't been making waves for us for a while. So that would mean it would cut off rather quickly and probably not even last into the weekend. So as far as the European is concerned, still something, but barely getting into the weekend, if at all. And so this is the last frame of the European. And you see possibly another little wave there. Southeast flow for us, which isn't really strong enough to bring us waves. So all in all, that's about it. There you go. Got to find the button. And so, you know, looks like a good chance of seeing some waves the next couple of days. That's encouraging. Tomorrow, I'm going to update all this too on the web here, on the words there that I type on out. So I'll update that. Here we're waiting for the football game to end, so I had a second to do this video, and I wanted to do it. Next time I'm going to do the video, probably Wednesday. I do work Wednesday. I'll try to get out after work though, and maybe catch a few little wind chopper waves on my new fish. I'd love that. And I'll see you guys out in the water. Everything looking good here for at least, you know, another bunch of days of waves here. Again, the only day that doesn't look all that rideable is Tuesday, because then it picks up after that. So enjoy the surf, boys. Peace out. See you.